So first we will start with a very common hemolytic anemia, hereditary spherocytosis. Hereditary spherocytosis incidence is 1 in 2000 to 5000 approximately. This is a worldwide picture. What exactly or where exactly the defect is present? So hereditary spherocytosis, the defect is in the RBC membrane. Also, in hereditary spherocytosis, the spleen is intact, so that will retain all the mutant RBCs and it will give rise to the splenomegaly and a hypersplenism like picture. What are the gene mutations? Repetitively asked questions in many MCQs, and most common gene mutation will be ankyrin, followed by band3, beta spectrin, alpha spectrin and protein 4.2. Most common one is ankyrin. So what is the inheritance pattern? Not all hereditary spherocytosis are autosomal dominant. Only 75% is inherited in an autosomal dominant fashion. This picture shows beautifully the membrane cytoskeleton of the RBC. So it is a lipid bilayer. We can see all the cytoskeleton membrane proteins. So ankyrin, which is the most common gene mutation in hereditary spherocytosis, we can see two chains of spectrin, alpha spectrin, beta spectrin, protein 4.1, protein 4.2, band 3 and glycophorin. This is the lipid bilayer and the associated membrane proteins of RBCs. Coming to the mutations, most common we know it is the ankyrin. So ankyrin is autosomal dominantly inherited. It is due to a frame shift mutation, whereas the rest of the mutations are either nonsense or missense mutation. Alpha spectrin, so this is the alpha spectrin gene mutation, is autosomal recessive. So I told you 75% of hereditary spherocytosis is autosomal dominant. Alpha spectrin is autosomal recessive and it is the most severe form of hereditary spherocytosis. Protein 4.2 here is also inherited in a recessive fashion and it is most common in the Japanese population. Splenectomy. Why splenectomy will increase the lifespan of RBCs? Because intact spleen will have all the mutant RBCs in the HS population. So splenectomy greatly benefits the patients with hereditary spherocytosis. So let's see about the pathology step by step. Basically, the membrane proteins are mutated. So this causes the uncoupling of the lipid bilayer. Just recall the picture that we saw a little earlier. So lipid bilayer uncouples, all the membrane microvesicles will start getting released. This will decrease the surface area of RBC. It becomes less deformable, it becomes more round and spherocytic. Once it is less deformable, it gets trapped in the spleen, giving rise to splenomegaly. Okay, so this is a normal RBC. So basically here you can see that this membrane cytoskeleton is damaged, all the microvesicles are coming out, RBC attains a very spherocytic or spherical structure. It becomes a spherocyte and gets entrapped inside the splenic macrophages. So such a beautiful diagram.